In 2011, the New York Knicks made a blockbuster trade, adding Carmelo Anthony to their roster. Unfortunately, that trade never resulted in a championship for the New York Knicks. But today, we're going back to NBA 2K14, where Carmelo Anthony was in the middle of his prime to try and win Melo a chip with the New York Knicks. Back in this 2K, there was only my GM. There was no my league, so we have to go through all these cutscenes. I have to talk to the owner. He's going to tell me a bunch of different goals that he has for this team. And if I fail too many of them, I'll end up getting fired as the GM of this team. So basically, I have a limited amount of time to turn this team into NBA champions. I'm going to start off by trading Amari Stoudemire a first and Tim Hardaway Jr. to go get Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay's an 86 overall in this, so I felt like this was a no-brainer. Next, I'm trading Iman Shumpert, Tyson Chandler, and a first to go get Serge Ibaka. Ibaka's only 24 years old and an 84 overall in this 2K. They also have little interviews after the trades. This game was really cool. I play this game quite a bit. Like, I pick this up here or there and do rebuilds on this game because it's pretty fun. But I'm liking how the team's looking so far, so we're going to simulate to the end of the season. At the end of the year, LeBron James was named MVP. In 2K14, Bron was just a glitch. J.R. Smith was named 6th Man of the Year for our squad, one of the best 6 men in the league at this time. Eric Spoelstra ended up winning Coach of the Year as the Heat went 72-10. Oh man, we're going to have to get through them if we want to win a championship. At least most likely, unless somebody else can take care of them for us. But as for our season, we were pretty solid. We did end up making it into the playoffs, less than 50 wins on the season. Despite that, though, the owner is telling me, oh, I want a conference finals appearance, all these big expectations. So you can see how this is eventually going to lead to you getting fired. Because no matter what you do, he's just got these ridiculous expectations for you. And eventually you're going to start failing them. And that's what leads me to my point of saying, I've got a limited amount of time to win this team a chip. But looking at our first round matchup, we've got the Brooklyn Nets. And just for more insight on how our season ended up going, we won 45 games. It was the best in our division, so I guess that's kind of good. And as for the team stats, Melo and Rudy Gay were our top 2 scorers, but we also had other guys filling out the scoring. Overall, I like the team. I wish we would have had a better center than Andrea Bargnani starting though. But besides that, I think everything's pretty good and we should have more opportunity to improve in the offseason. In the first round, we're the 4 seed, so let's see how this goes in our 4-5 matchup against Brooklyn. We win game 1, we lose game 2, series tied up. In game 3, we're going to lose. Come on, y'all. Come on, lock in 2-2 series. We're going to lose. Oh no, here comes the owner. What's he telling me now? He says, oh, we got to get this one done. Force a game 7. And we did. And in game 7, we lost. And we had a goal to win the NBA championship. How do you expect me to do that with what I was given? The roster just isn't that good. All right. We're going on to the offseason. Apparently, J.R. Smith is mad. This game, it was pretty big on player morale and stuff. Guys would get mad and frustrated and things like that. So we've got to worry about that. And as a result, we're going to have to trade Melo. They also let you select your budget in this game, which was a pretty cool feature. You could choose how much you want to spend on players, payroll, and all of these ended up affecting you one way or another. But with big market teams like the Knicks, eventually you're going to be able to max out all those categories and have a lot of bread to work with. But remember how I mentioned a J.R. Smith trade? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to trade J.R. to go get O.J. Mayo. We do have around $12 million in cap space to potentially improve the roster, so that's at least something good for this offseason. I also can trade a few players to clear up a little bit more cap space for free agency. Hopefully, we can land a big player. Let's go ahead and let's get into it though. We've got a big offseason ahead of us. We do have to bring back Carmelo Anthony, who is testing free agency this offseason. I tried to use the grass isn't greener pitch because they said, oh, you want to use it? And then they said I don't have enough VC, so I guess I got clickbaited by 2K. Let's go ahead and let's head into free agency though. LeBron James is a free agent. I went into the free agent meeting and realized we do not have nearly enough money, so we couldn't make that happen. And really, the best player I could get was Luol Deng. So, I mean, Luol's cool. We'll go ahead and we'll try to sign him, I guess, and hopefully bring back Melo, because that's the really big thing for this offseason. I'm going to offer him a bag because I don't want to mess around. I don't want to see him go into another team. Hopefully, he will be coming back to our roster. Luol Deng is back. I don't see Melo re-signing yet, though. Hopefully, he comes back, and he does. Carmelo Anthony is back with the squad, and I also still had a little bit of money left. Well, a little bit is crazy. We're talking about millions of dollars. But in the NBA world, I had a little bit of money left to go out and sign Ray Allen onto the roster. He's old, but he can just shoot three-pointers and stuff. He'll be all right. I wanted some more floor spacing on the roster. That's always good. Now the owner's telling me a bunch more goals for the season. Inevitably, like I said, he's going to get mad and I'm going to get fired. So we've got to cook right now. And speaking of cooking, I cooked up this beautiful trade for Rajon Rondo. I traded Rudy Gay and also Raymond Felton and got Rondo and Jeff Green. Just an absolute beauty of a trade. That Hawks pick that I got by trading, I think, like some 50-something or 60-something overall players ended up being super valuable. So I was able to use that to go out and get Rondo. And we also got Jeff Green in that trade. We've got a solid like 7-8 man rotation. The starting lineup is immaculate. I'm really proud of how the team has rounded out going into this season, but the owner is not proud. He's very frustrated, and I'm starting to get worried that I'm going to get fired. Luol Deng is the 6th man of the year this season. Great stuff from Luol. I was underestimating how much he could help out the squad. Unfortunately, we didn't have the coach of the year. The team wasn't as good as I would have hoped on the season, but Melo was all NBA, so that's good. And Rondo's best friend, Chris Paul, also ended up making an all-NBA team as well. Serge Ibaka is thrilled to make the all-defensive team. You can see it by his picture. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. The owner is on 19 morale. He is just spraying fumes out of his head like it's a cartoon. We've really got to lock in. And also, if you want to see more videos while the owner gets mad at me, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on those noties too. If you've been subscribed and you want to get notified, turn on those noties, man. I really appreciate it. Here's what the regular season stats were looking like for the squad. Good stuff. Shout out Ray Allen, 7.7 points per game, and Birdman with 1.9 points per game. We once again have the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. Let's see how this matchup goes. It's going much better. We're up 3-1, and we're going to beat them in a gentleman's sweep. Beautiful. We're moving on to the second round against the Charlotte Bobcats. We take game 1 and game 2 and game 3. We might make the conference finals. Of course, the owner's not happy enough with that. He's like, oh, I want to sweep. All right, let's get this sweep, and we did it. He's not even mad anymore. He's just neutral. Next up, the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls are going to take game 1. We're going to take game 2. We're going to take game 3. We're close to making it to the NBA Finals. And my coach is talking to me about buying a weight room. We're not buying the weight room. Ask somebody else. Ask the owner. He's the one with all the bread. All right, we've got to go ahead and do something because we're down in this series facing elimination. We have to make this happen and make an NBA Finals. I'm going to increase the minutes of my star players and hope that's enough for us to get the job done in this game 6 so that we can force 7 and hopefully make an NBA Finals appearance. I mean, the squad is great. It's beautiful. I don't understand how we're not about to make the finals, how we're facing elimination here, but let's see how this one goes. We're going to lose in game 6. Oh no. The owner is frustrated. My job security's hanging by a thread, and the media has the audacity to ask me about it. I'm stressed out, man. I don't know what to do. We'll just go ahead and, luckily I didn't get fired yet, so we'll go ahead and allocate the budget the way I like that. I'm sure the owner's going to be mad about the way I did the budget. It's not looking good. We got to bring back Rondo this offseason. I tried to offer Kevin Love, but I didn't have any money to give him, so that's kind of awkward. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and leave the meeting. I'll walk away. They wouldn't let me use the mind trick pitch because he wasn't interested enough in the team. We just didn't have a ton of money. I did go out and sign Caron Butler to be a role player for the team, so a nice little bench pickup for the squad. I did also end up offering Rondo a deal. I mean, of course, we need Rondo on this squad, and hopefully he'll end up taking that contract. He does, and we land Caron Butler. So that's pretty much it for the free agency moves. Not too eventful. I mean, kind of eventful because we got back one of our star players. But one actual move that I made where we were changing up the roster was I went out and I got Harrison Barnes. I also added Mo Spates in the trade. Felt like this was a solid move because Harrison Barnes is pretty young and probably has more upside than Jeff Green in this simulation. Now the squad looks, I mean, it's pretty nice, man. We got a good 8-man rotation headed into the season. And at the end of the year, LeBron James takes home another MVP. We've seen him do this time and time again in this sim. Nerlens Noel is the Defensive Player of the Year. That's pretty cool to see. As for the All-NBA teams, we did end up seeing Carmelo Anthony and Rondo named to All-NBA. Rondo was All-NBA second, and Melo was All-NBA third. Rondo was also All-Defense this season. Round number 1, we got the Detroit Pistons, but before that, you can see the stats. OJ Mayo, Melo, Rondo, those were our top scorers. Harrison Barnes was pretty solid. We had a lot of guys scoring for us this season. Let's go ahead and let's see how this matchup against the Pistons goes. Okay, well, we're down 3-1 in the series, and we go ahead and get gentlemen swept. It was a 2-7 matchup, so I guess we weren't really favored in it, but man, that sucks. In the offseason, I went out and I offered Dirk Nowitzki and Zach Randolph contracts. I ended up landing both of them, but I only had enough money to sign Zach Randolph. The owner is in shambles. He is frustrated, sitting at 9 morale. I might end up getting packed up soon. It's really only a matter of time at this point. I need to deliver a championship to the team. We're in crunch time right now, but we're at the top of preseason power rankings, so we'll see how this season goes. I got offered a trade for DeMarcus Cousins, and I figured it was time to shake things up because we actually weren't doing that good despite being at the top of power rankings. So I went ahead and I took the trade to add DeMarcus Cousins. He can be a star for us. I've seen him making All-NBA teams in the simulation, so we'll see how that goes. I also did go ahead and add Avery Bradley. This felt like a no-brainer. Bradley's an 82. Luol was only a 77. We had to trade a first, but I don't really care about picks. I'll probably end up being fired by 2018 when that pick ends up actually conveying. LeBron James takes home another MVP, and Marquise Teague takes home a Most Improved Player. Jeff Teague's little brother. Man, Jeff Teague has some hilarious podcast clips. I don't know if y'all have seen those going around social media and everything. Also, Rondo ended up making All-NBA first team. Darren Williams made All-NBA second team, which is kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and let's get into the NBA playoffs. We got to go ahead and get this chip because, man, I'm going to get fired soon. I know I keep saying it, but it probably will happen pretty soon. Round number 1, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. At least they don't have LeBron James in this simulation. We'll see how this ends up going. The squad is kind of stacked, man. Avery Bradley, though, is mad. I think it's because his role was a starter, and he ended up coming off the bench. So I'm going to change his role to a 6-man, and then he just gets even madder. There's no winning, so I guess we'll just have to deal with the mad Avery Bradley in this year's playoffs. As for the player stats on the season, our New York Knicks were really good. We had a really good season. Melo ended up averaging about 23. I think I made the right decision picking up Boogie. He had a monster season. Rondo was really good. OJ Mayo was getting buckets. We'll see how this first round series goes. Hopefully we can at least get out of this. And we're down 3-0. Oh no. Oh no. Man, we had home court advantage going into this matchup. GM's on 5 morale. We gotta win. We take a game. We didn't get swept. Okay, we take 2. Can we actually pull off a 3-0 comeback? I feel like the simulation's just kind of cooking me. I'm not going to lie to y'all because I think this team is good enough to compete for a championship, but But what do I know, man? We know the 2K sim engine has been top tier for quite some time now. Like, what, 2 decades at this point? Nah, man. The sim just has never made much sense. We went ahead and we lost, so that sucks. We're going to go ahead and head into another offseason. I'm surprised the cutscene where I get fired hasn't popped up yet. Luckily, we do have a lot of money to spend. I can go ahead and max out the budget in every single area, so there's really no excuses. I must just be a Mickey Mouse GM because we should really be winning NBA championships out here. He's given me all my goals as we head into this season. I didn't really do anything in the offseason. We're number 1 in the power rankings again. We saw how that went last time, but we weren't doing that well. And I got an offer for Kobe, Avery Bradley for Kobe. Remember, Avery Bradley was mad anyway, so I went ahead and I got Kobe. He was still hooping in this simulation, so I had to do it. Kobe Bryant, welcome to the squad. We're going to go ahead and put him into the starting lineup because his role is starter. I'm going to move Mo Spates to the bench, and the team looks beautiful, man. So hopefully that actually means something and we'll be able to compete for a chip. Next up, I'm going to trade OJ Mayo and a first to go get Iman Shumpert. He's a higher overall. He's younger. Felt like this was a no-brainer trade. So now we're going to simulate till the end of the season. We're 24-27, so hopefully we can end up turning things around. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see if we would turn things around because I got fired. And you know what? I'm not going out like this, man. I'm going to go ahead and make a scene. You're firing me? Me? I am the New York Knicks, man. So we got fired. I got sent into this cutscene where I was sitting out in a room and I was just waiting and watching the days pass. And ultimately, we didn't win a championship. And man, I tried my best. I'm sorry, Melo. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.